What's good, YouTube? It's Taeman, and today, man, we're gonna be reacting to an Iron Man versus Batman death battle. Now, going into this fight, I'm already predicting Batman will win if he gets the prep time. But, bro, Iron Man is just Batman that's rich, bro, and both of them already rich. Like, come on now. Yeah, Iron Man might have the better gadgets sometimes, or more than likely. But Batman got IQ. Well, he is smart too. You know what? We just gonna go ahead and get right to this fight. I hope y'all enjoy it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And let's get right to it. So
Batman,
yeah, y'all didn't watch
DC's
the last
vengeful
video.
crusader of the
I'm
night.
doing a new
Iron
format
Man,
where
Marvel's
I
genius,
stream the
billionaire,
death battle.
playboy, philanthropist.
So if you
These
want
two
to,
mortal
come to
men have used their
twitch.tv/,
intellect and determination to take their place
and I will be
alongside
streaming them.
gods.
And you can
And
just catch
being
me
filthy,
on
stinking
around, like,
rich sure
Saturday
doesn't hurt
morning.
either. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
That's right, he's back. In case you're one of the many
Bruce
psycho
Wayne.
supervillains stalking the streets of Gotham City, I would make peace with whatever god you pray to, because they won't save you from the goddamn Batman.
But before he dressed like a giant rodent and employed little boys in booty shorts as meat shields, he was Bruce Wayne,
Man had to
scion
have
of
that.
the multi-billion-dollar company Wayne Enterprises.
Until Mommy and Daddy got 360 no-scope, leaving Bruce with a
Wow.
void inside him that could only be
Why
filled
they
by the
gotta be so
never-ending quest for
disrespectful,
justice and vengeance.
That night, Bruce Wayne
good,
died
Isaiah?
and the Batman
alright?
was born. He would devote his life to perfecting his body and mind to become more
I
than
don't even know
human.
why I said that,
He
but
would
what's that
transcend
about?
his own mortality into legend, a nightmare
no,
to
no
haunt
sense.
evildoers till the end of time.
Jesus Christ! I feel like Zoloft and therapy would work too, but okay, whatever works.
Batman's resume is absurd. He's mastered 127 martial arts, trained in stealth and assassination, and is a super genius with a
Yeah.
photographic memory.
Batman's
He's the
super
world's
smart.
greatest detective, bar none.
Like how the League of Shadows needs
That's
to keep
what I'm saying.
erasing
He gets
Batman's
the prep
memories
time.
because he keeps
Iron
finding
Man
their
is
secret
done,
bases.
though.
Or the time
But
he
if they
found a
just throw him
dead
into
body
a
with
fight
no
with no
entry
prep
or
time,
exit wound and a 40-year-old
of course I
bullet
can see
nearby,
Iron Man.
and somehow determined it must have been fired backwards in time.
Despite being a master marksman, escape artist, forensic scientist, mechanical engineer,
And Ninja,
one
Still a
of
young
Batman's assets stands above them all.
his Bat Stacks. Bats has poured his
Oh,
billions
man, no
into
way.
tactical armor and gadgets for every conceivable situation. If there's one word to describe
Of course he's
Batman,
rich.
it's prepared.
Made of reinforced
Iron Man
Kevlar
is
and
true, though.
titanium, his batsuit can resist knives and gunfire, and even protected him from this massive explosion. Judging by the size of the detonation,
here they go.
Batman's distance from the epicenter, and the
Measuring
surface
the
area of his
explosion
body,
radius
he
and the
must have
diameter of
withstood
the
a blast
circumference
of
of
nearly
the-
60
Man,
tons
come
of
on now.
TNT.
His cowl comes with night vision, infrared, and a radio, while his utility belt is chock full of smoke bombs, nerve toxins, a grappling hook, and batarangs, which he can control midair and set to explode.
It was these tools that allowed Batman to wage his one-man war on crime.
But once he got over his angsty loner phase, he helped found the Justice League of America in order to bring his personal brand of Bat Justice to the entire world.
And Batman's knack for schemes and preparation skyrocketed the match,
One of the
turning
most
him into
goated
the Bat
superheroes.
God we all know and mean. Like the time he developed a backup personality that would ensure he functions as Batman in case of a psychological attack that drove him mad. A backup human operating system. Like a computer,
Wow.
but it's his
I ain't
brain.
hear about this,
He
though.
even has plans tailored to his teammates' weaknesses should they ever go rogue. He's developed contingencies for everything, which is why Bats comes prepared with extra suits for any occasion.
Like his
Batman
Nightfall
with prep time.
exosuit to
He
battle
will get
Bane, or the
anyone out
Justice
of the
Buster,
game.
which he obviously designed to combat the Justice League. He even got a final Batsuit from his sixth dimensional self that can rewrite your mind.
But my favorite is his stylish zebra suit, which he wore after getting weird Magneto powers. They just made his suit look like this for some reason. There's also the Rainbow Batman suit, the Suit of Sorrows, and of course, the Bat Nipples. Chicks dig the Bat Nipples. All paid for with the Bat credit card. Never
Now, why
left
they
the cave
have
without
this?
it.
But perhaps his greatest suit of armor, the one designed to put him on the same level of insane mind-bending power as his league teammates, is the Hellbat.
AKA the single coolest looking thing ever invented.
Forged by Superman in the heart of the sun, each member of the Justice League contributed to this monstrous mech's abilities.
And boy, does it show! The Hellbat is
That suit should be
absolutely
what it says,
hardcore!
like,
Made
it's gonna
of
fight apart.
nanokinetic mesh, it can shapeshift around Batman's body and operates via telepathic link.
It can fly, turn invisible, and fire a bat-shaped chest laser.
Think about it.
And by
Dude, that
diverting
can
all
be
the suit's
Superman.
power into his fists, he can
He's
use
gonna
the
watch Iron
Devastator, a punch powered by Wonder Woman's strength. And she's strong enough to yank the frickin' Earth around. Though it does have a 95% chance of giving old Bats a heart attack.
Which he has given himself to save all of Gotham City on at least one occasion. It's that level of insane drive that pushed him to use the Hellbat in his one-man invasion of Apocalypse in order to bring his son back to life.
You know, Apocalypse, home to the god of evil himself, Darkseid. Batman
Darkseid.
stared down the final boss of DC Comics and actually kicked his ass.
This is incredible, considering Darkseid is a being strong enough to destroy entire universes and fast enough to fly to the edge of the universe in seconds.
See?
Since the DC universe is
That's why I don't get
significantly
too invested
larger
in
than
the
our
DC
own, that would be
and,
over
Marvel
600
worlds, 'cause
quintillion times the speed of
You
light.
going out
And
of the
same
galaxy
Darkseid
now.
avatar even took a Shoryuken from Alan Scott, who was amped up from the energy of the multiverse. And Bats cleaned his clock just as hard.
But this incalculable strength is drawn from Batman's own life force,
Of course,
specifically
the
his
suit drains his
metabolism.
life.
Should any fight with the Hellbat go on too long, Batman may succumb to its hunger before finishing the fight himself. Or absorb someone else's biomass for fuel. That works too.
So basically, you'd have to be completely batshit insane to pilot this thing. And Bats, is... Yeah, sorry to break it to you, but the grown man that wears his underwear on the outside isn't all there.
In keeping with being a perfectionist, though, he's completely aware of this. That's why he does not kill. Because if he did, he understands that he can't trust himself to know when to stop.
Batman is outsmarted the nigh-omniscient Metron, defeated his dark counterpart, the Batman Who Laughs, and humiliated Superman in a one-on-one fight.
Like,
No,
come
wait,
on
that
now.
one's not canon.
Who's
That
having
one he
peace like
technically
that?
had
Who
held.
having
Yeah,
Superman
that one.
hemmed up?
Although many of his greatest
Besides
accomplishments
Batman.
have been aided by his exceptional prep work and foreknowledge, he's no stranger to being put on the spot, even in the face of Armageddon. Who else would kick the Spectre, the Angel of Wrath, God's divine judgment, in the face, and then tell him to get the hell out of his city?
I'll tell you who. The goddamn
Batman.
motherfucking Batman.
My parademons
Like,
arrive
come on, bro. Do we need to watch the Iron Man segment? We can just go ahead and get right to the fight if we want to.
You would be forgiven for
Stark.
doubting the destiny of genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist Tony Stark.
Yeah, 'cause you can add massive prick to that list too.
Tony's parents died when he was still young, leaving the mind-bogglingly brilliant prodigy to inherit a multi-billion-dollar tech company.
With mommy and daddy's purse strings, Tony decided to live it up and down in booze and the ladies.
Which was problematic considering he made his fortune as a part of a military-industrial complex, selling devastating high-tech arms to the highest bidder.
And Tony got to see his handiwork firsthand when it literally blew up in his face.
Yup.
Tony never had much of a heart to begin with, but after that, he literally had even less. Unlike so many men of weaker spirit, though, Tony refused to give up. He was made of tougher stuff. He was made of iron.
So he built himself a robot suit to bust the hell out of there. And when he got back to the good old US of A, he devoted his life to protecting the world from the kinds of weapons he helped make by making an even better robot suit and becoming a superhero.
Yep.
I am Iron Man.
Of course, he's Iron Man.
Building new suits of armor wasn't just a hobby for Tony, but an obsession. Over the course of his long career as a founding member of the Avengers, he
That
has
made so
constructed
many suits.
dozens of different models, which he can call to him at once like a literal one-man army.
Most
He
of his
does have that
armors come
whole
with the
buster
same
suit, don't
basic toolkit: super strength, massively hypersonic flight, and repulsor blast.
Repulsors are extremely dense beams of muons, unstable subatomic particles similar to electrons. They're actually really interesting. See, they're classified as leptons,
Yeah, I
which don't
remember
have any
on the
known
PlayStation 2,
substructures.
I remember
Just
we
sort of
made
like
an Iron Man game.
It's a
But
laser.
I forgot which game
just suck
it
the
was.
fun out of it. His armors also come with onboard AI, like
Yeah, I
Friday,
remember
which can hack
we were
into
down
enemy
below in the
technology,
conversation.
command his other suits to fight remotely, and operate down to the picosecond. That's 1/trillionth of a second.
Even outdated armors are strong enough to blow up a chunk of rock as big as Manhattan. By taking a look at its speed, Tony's armor would have had to be hitting with an energy of nearly 300 teratons of TNT. That's 3 times stronger than the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Years spent defending the Earth has conditioned Tony to be
So
prepared
he's really,
for any
really
threat
strong.
imaginable,
That's basically
and
what
he has
they're
an
saying.
armor for almost any occasion.
He's got an armor to bust Hulks, an armor to bust Thors, an armor that can
But
turn
Iron Man used
intangible,
that,
a super tiny armor that can mess with your
suit that he
insides,
had
and an armor made of
towards
white
the end.
sticky alien goo. Definitely
Iron
not
Man's
legal in
still
all
dumb, though.
50 states.
But of course,
Gross. In
everything
order
is
to
planned
remain
less
as
than
flexible
what
as possible, though, his standard go-to is the Model Prime. It has all the classic Iron Man staples and has even incorporated size changing for extra strength, an invisible stealth mode,
And a badass lightning samurai sword! Say what you want about the smug son of a bitch, but he's definitely got style.
ain't
And
gonna lie, I do
crippling
like Iron Man
alcoholism.
suit,
But
though.
look who's talking.
it was more than likely that same devil-may-care attitude that led to Tony revealing his secret identity to the world, which I guess had no consequences.
Look, Wiz, when you build a space laser strong enough to wipe out alien fleets in one shot, I don't think the Mandarin is going to interrupt your shawarma lunch date.
That space laser is a Dyson sphere, a speculative superstructure that is meant to encircle an entire star and harness its energy. Something only possible by a theoretical Type 2 civilization on the Kardashev scale.
It's basically when you're galaxy-brained enough to draw power from the entire solar system.
I know it's comics, but the fact that Tony just has one of these lying around is insane. Known
Yeah.
as Soul's Hammer, Tony's incomplete sphere is strong enough to destroy a planet at only a 2% charge.
Didn't you work on one of those? I remember you talking about how it would solve your student loan problems once and for all.
On behalf of the families of several planets that no longer exist, I'm not legally at liberty to discuss that.
Wow.
Years of protecting the world
Yeah,
from
you got that
aliens,
in the
gods, and
arsenal. I
even his
remember that
friends.
from-
All of that stuff
forgot
wore
what
Tony
video it
down
was.
and turned him into the one thing he promised
was
himself he
superpower
would
beat
never
down or
become. A narc.
Siding with the U.S. government's enforcement of the Superhuman Registration Act led to a literal civil war between superheroes. It wouldn't be his last.
Though it did prove he could hang with the best of them. He's beaten Captain America in hand-to-hand combat, survived blows from Thor, and even took down the Worldbreaker Hulk.
He even matched Magneto. Magneto, the guy that controls metal, the thing that surrounds Tony's entire body, by amplifying his power with Jupiter's magnetic field.
And then Max punched him with the power of the sun, and it was like, no big deal. There really doesn't seem to be a limit to how insane Tony's tech gets. In the movies, this is the same guy that figured out time travel just sitting around one evening. In the time it takes me to down a beer, Tony's already shattered the laws of
Yeah, he can
physics.
do all of that,
Yeah,
though. Tony
sure.
is
Go to the
obviously
Middle
smart.
Ages
Like,
and
both
play
of
nights
them
with
really
Doctor
are.
Doom, you scamp.
Perhaps
Tony
his
might be
greatest
smarter than
invention of
Batman.
all, however, was the
But he's
E-Scape,
still
an
can
entire
get whooped.
virtual universe where the only limit is his imagination.
And because Tony's nothing if not predictable, he made an armor out of it. That's right, he made an armor out of a universe.
This virtual armor is composed of solid holograms that can form any weapon Tony can think of. But even it likely cannot compare to the armor Tony created inside the E-Scape, the Godbuster.
It's literally Iron Man going Super Saiyan. The Godbuster was so powerful it destroyed the entire E-Scape in a single blast, along with the AI controlling all of it.
An earlier iteration of the Godbuster was able to stand up to Celestials, cosmic gods that can warp reality, like Galactus, Odin,
Alright,
and
see?
Franklin, who
At
can
this
threaten
point-
the multiverse with their power.
I don't know.
So it lives up to the friggin' name in case you were wondering. But it isn't that kind of power that makes Tony special. After a life spent wallowing
know
in
about the
vice and
Godbusters
pleasure,
suit.
Tony rebuilt himself into a man he could be proud of. Someone who could sacrifice everything to save the world.
I suppose underneath it all, that man of iron had a heart of gold.
You want my property, you can't have it. But I did you a big favor. I have successfully privatized world peace.
Hey, bats! Now, I can respect a man with a healthy sense of paranoia and
Got a
billions to
pixelated
spare.
fight.
But Steve and Nat are really up my ass about this. Take the watchtower offline now.
Bruce, you don't want this fight, Tony. It'll be the biggest mistake of your life.
You gotta be prepared. Be prepared.
Clark, do you read me? The watchtower is being attacked.
Seriously, Bats? I figured out hacking in the 2nd grade. How do you think I got in here? Aside from... Really, bros? This stick? I thought we were grown-ups here.
So he's a clown.
Ready when you are.
Rock.
Friday, I need Soul's Hammer online pronto. Match my coordinates. I'll try to... Oh.
What did you expect? I am Batman.
And I am Iron Man.
Okay,
I've got
so
a
he
suit
can
for
throw the
everything,
arm.
Bats, including busting wannabe gods like you.
I wonder how Batman goes into the real one though. He got some straw.
Bust this.
So far, Batman Arsenal is just whooping him. He's in Toronto right now.
Had to divert some power to hacking that suit. Like I said, 2nd grade. Friday, fire the hammer!
And he was famous though.
No more armors, Tony. Just you and me.
He still got
Man
his,
to
like,
man.
Well,
thoughts, don't he?
Man to genius billionaire playboy.
God, track him.
Maybe
Can't you just call us?
just one more. Model 58, the nano armor. Snuck it into your body back on the watchtower. Friday, initiate self-destruct.
Wow. That's crazy though, right? I didn't even know he had a suit like
Friday,
that.
I could really use a drink.
Oh, come
Crazy way to
on! You
lose
know if they
Batman.
fought naked,
That's
Batman
tough.
would have beat the shit out of him.
While Batman is a character defined by his tenacity, preparedness, and utter genius, so
Why he
is Tony
should've knew
Stark,
about the nano
so
suit?
neither could rely on that skill set alone to pull them through.
And it shouldn't come as a surprise. Batman's standard Batsuit couldn't quite hold up to the firepower of even the most basic Iron Man armors. The Batsuit is surprisingly tough, sure, but it isn't taking hits from a dude that can punch apart Manhattan. And despite Bats having a ton of nifty gadgets, Iron Man's armors were way more varied and powerful. With
Yeah.
so many unique
That's
and
it,
often
man.
alien abilities, there was no way Bats could predict all of them.
With time, he could certainly figure out a plan of attack, but since Tony is just as much a genius schemer as Batman, he could do the same.
There are lots of cases where he would have won, especially with his ace in the hole, the Hellbat.
The Hellbat's raw power
He
and
went straight
speed
to that
absolutely
suit, too.
dwarfed the majority of Iron Man's
So
arsenal,
Iron Man
and
had
could
time
have
to,
killed
like,
him immediately
think
were it
about
not
it.
for Tony's own trump cards.
Like the Godbuster, which was definitely strong enough to contend with it. The Hellbat could take on Darkseid, but a weaker version of the Godbuster could hold its own against Celestials.
Darkseid was a being capable of threatening the multiverse with his power and moving many times faster than light, but the Celestials were capable of the same.
With an armor that strong, Tony could buy
I'm
himself
saying,
enough
though,
time
so
to
why would
break
you
out
bring
all
that
his
up?
other
They were
tricks,
both
like
literally
sneaking
training.
nano armors into
Like,
Batman's
I
body,
literally
phasing
said
through
that.
him with Ghost
Together
Tech,
in
draining the
power.
Hellbat's power,
Power
or just
scaling.
hacking his suit and shutting it off.
And with an army of armors at his beck and call, Tony could certainly hold Batman off long enough to employ those strategies. Hell, since
Yeah,
he can control
it was
them
a lot of-
remotely,
it was
he
a lot of
technically
suits out
didn't
there.
even need to be there and put himself in harm's way.
And remember, the Hellbat used Batman's own life force as a battery. He needed to end the fight quick or else his own armor would kill him first. With Tony throwing an army at him, he didn't have a good way of doing that. Tony just had way too much shit to throw at Batman, while Batman didn't have the time or options he needed to keep up.
Batman may have been a god among men, but Iron Man's wealth of gadgets, insanely powerful tech, and greater mechanical experience allowed him to crush the Caped Crusader.
You might think it's an injustice that Batman's gonna need avenging, but Iron Man was in a whole nother league.
The winner is Iron Man.
W video.